Yo, hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Fun Speculation. This is Mav, and we are live. It's Thursday last week. We weren't able to have a show because it was Thanksgiving. So, hope everyone that celebrates Thanksgiving was able to have a great time with family or whatever you end up doing. We actually did something different this year ourselves. We kind of like went out and did like a staycation thing, which was pretty cool. We never have done that before for like a major holiday and stuff. So we had a blast. We went and actually saw Wicked also, so that was fun. But yeah, and the Cowboys won last week. And oh yeah, like I wasn't even gonna mention the Cowboys because I didn't want anybody in the chat to spoil anything that's happening and during this game for me today as we're live. But yeah, they did win last week also, so that was pretty damn cool. Thanksgiving. Yeah, you see, it's just me right now, guys, and that might be the case for the whole show. I'm not sure. Jasper is not able to be here tonight. Pong is on hiatus still. He's got a lot of things going on for a while, so we don't know exactly when he's gonna be back. Fuzzy may hop in. I don't know exactly, but he's usually right around the middle of the show is when he's been hopping into the show. It seems like lately, so don't know if he's gonna be hopping in or not. But that's okay because I do Mavcast as well, or used to quite a bit. So I'm used to this doing solo stuff, and I hope you guys can still jive with the show and appreciate it and stuff. But thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, we still got a lot to talk about. There's been a lot of things happening with the gaming world. This year has been like I think it's you see the thumbnail. It's been a really interesting year because it's kind of a year of change for a lot of things. Gaming in general, I think, is evolving and changing. I think 2025 has been a year where we had a crap ton of great games as well. And it kind of puts things into focus with gaming. And I think a lot of people's habits have been changing with gaming over the past year as well. So it's pretty interesting and that's kind of what I want to do this show as the Game Awards are next week, which will be co streaming as well. So if you want to watch the Game Awards with me, come hang out here. I don't know who all's going to be there. Pong said he may be able to hop in for that kind of stuff, so we'll see if Pong's going to be there next week. I'm not sure, but we should have a few people on at least for the Game Awards co-stream as well. Shout out to Isaac Hayes. Shout out to RSJ fan. What's up? Shout out to Cyber Gunther. How's it going, everybody? Thank you for watching the show. Yeah, 2025 has been really interesting with gaming. And as I keep playing Arc Raiders, putting off a lot of the other games that I've been wanting to eventually get to, certain games have kind of grabbed a hold of me. Sometimes it's something like Supermarket Simulator, right? Where it's like I can't stop playing that damn game for a few weeks. And now it's Arc Raiders. And me and Kate, I got Kate hooked into it also. Now she's like super addicted to Arc Raiders also. So we've been running tons of duos in Arc Raiders, which has been fun. It's been fun for me to play with her a lot too, like doing raids and helping her find stuff. But then we get into battles and she's getting aggressive, and then we've had our daring escapes to be able to get back to Speranza, finding blueprints, finding loot, all the kind of stuff that you do. It's been a blast playing that with her also. But it's been a weird year also because like there's so many good games that I haven't gotten to. It's like the backlog has been absolutely insane. Yeah, like J Money, shout out to you, J Money, J Mo Money, sorry, says, have I played Cosmic Invasion yet? I haven't touched it yet. I have it installed everywhere, but every time I sit down to play something, it's just by default I click on Arc Raiders. I can't help it. I sit down, click on Arc Raiders. The only thing I did try the past week that wasn't Arc Raiders was Where Winds Meet, and that's the free to play action RPG type game that lots of people are playing and talking about. I wanted to see what it's like. It's a beautiful game. It didn't really jive with me though. for some reason, it wasn't clicking. It felt kind of like, I don't know, the combat and stuff felt like simplistic, like it was. I don't know how to explain it without sounding insulting to the game because I don't think it's a bad game. But like it felt like the controls and the combat and everything was like less fluid. Like I wasn't actually control. Like it felt like a mobile game. I don't know if you guys know what I mean. Like it felt too automatic. Like it felt too automatic. Like the moves that you do and stuff felt like too automatic for like an action game like that. You know, like less immersive in some ways. It just didn't click with me. And I'm not saying it's a bad game because obviously a lot of people are loving it, but I thought it was beautiful. I completely get why people are liking it, and if I play more of it, I probably would see why everybody's digging it and get into it. But it just didn't click. Um, Cosmic Invasion is one I know I'm gonna love, and I know I'm gonna play a lot of. Like, and it's gonna be one of those games I pick up and play, put down randomly. Like a couple weeks later, I'll pick it up and play, then put it down. You know, that kind of game. Like it's not one that I think like I'm gonna like sit there and play for like weeks on end. You know what I mean? Like Arc Raiders or something like that. But it's one of those that'll always be there. You know, it's kind of like the TMNT, like Shredder's Revenge and stuff like that. Like it's just it's always gonna be there. So it's one that I can hop into and have a good time. Streets of Rage 4, you know, Scott Pilgrim, all those kinds of brawlers. Like you can just pick it up. Hey, have some fun, run a couple levels, put it down. It'll be there 6 months from now, and you can easily pick it back up and have a blast. Same. Shout out to Bilu No says which game just joined. I was talking about Where Winds Meet a minute ago. Cybergunner says COD 7 getting closer to beating the campaign. Is what you've been playing. Right on. Cybergunner's been playing Spider-Man 2, Cosmic Invasion, Lost Records, Shinobi, Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, there's so many games to play, man. Like, but like everybody talks about the problem with gaming is like black hole games, you know? And I think I'm the kind of a perfect example of a gamer that can get lost in those kind of games and like ignore the other games I've been looking forward to. Because like I've barely touched Outer Worlds 2. I did stream it and got really into it, but then something else came out or some this or that or whatever, and completely got immersed and sucked into something else. Our multiplayer games can do that to me quite a bit. Arc Raiders definitely is my favorite multiplayer game I've played in a long time. But it can be equally satisfying as it can be frustrating. But that's one of the best things about it. Because you don't know what's going to happen that match. You know, but still you're progressing and getting better and acquiring things over time, right? Outer Worlds 2 is such a good game. It is. It's amazing. My first take on Outer Worlds 2 was like right when I picked up the controller and felt how fluid it felt. I was like, wow, this is like they made strides. Obsidian has like with the combat of Avowed and the combat of Outer Worlds 2, like they took things to a different level than I thought they were able to gameplay wise with their games, like with the action based gameplay. Like they really stepped it up a notch. Now Bethesda did with Starfield also. Like I remember everybody's concerned about the combat before Starfield had come out, the previews, all those kind of things. Like, oh, is the gunplay gonna be fun or this or that? And Starfield did too. It's amazing. But I think Obsidian maybe even more so with the gameplay. And they got both styles, right? You got Outer Worlds 2, which is more like gun focused, sci-fi. But then you got Avowed, which is fantasy, and he's got more of the swords and all that kind of stuff. And they kind of nailed the combat in both arenas there. So Obsidian is deserving of so much praise for what they've done. Now maybe they've taken a step back in some areas, like on Avowed, like some people are criticizing the writing and things like that, or this or that. You know, level design, less less. I guess I would say able to do whatever you want kind of RPG. You know, and more of a streamlined RPG. Um, but that being said, I mean, I think they have a great foundation with that franchise too. But that I remember that was Pong's main complaints with some of the stuff there in Avowed, which is justified. But I still had a great time with it. That's one of the ones that I still have yet to finish. I'm like on the last area. Indiana Jones is another one that I have yet to finish, still in the last area. And I'm talking these are games from the last couple. Well, I guess Avowed was this year. It's crazy. Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 were both this year. But yeah, over the last like year and a half, I guess, games that came out that I haven't finished yet. There's still so many that I have yet to even play. But here we are playing Arc Raiders and stuff like that, right? JMO Money says those two games and Grounded 2, they did so much heavy lifting in the first party department, one of Microsoft's most valuable studios. Yeah, I remember when they acquired them, and everybody was like looking at them like, okay, like Obsidian, hey, it's a great acquisition. What are they going to do? What are they going to bring to the table? Well, they've just brought so much, like so many damn games. I mean, they like like you said, Grounded 2, but then they also released something like Pentiment. We got Outer Worlds, we got Avowed. Just amazing studio. Fuzzy Belvedere, what's up, dude?
Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How's it going, man?
Not too bad. Still up here recovering from the holidays.
Oh yeah, same.
How you
Yeah,
been?
pretty good. We decorated for Christmas today, like around the
Nice.
house, which we usually have done before now, but we like for Thanksgiving we did like a little kind of like staycation trip thing, so we're kind of planning for that. And then
Mhm.
we just got busy with stuff and like put it on the back burner. So I had to put up the tree, so I had to put up two trees today.
Mhm.
And we have like all these bins of decor, and Kate keeps seeing new stuff she likes every time we go to the store. So we weren't decorated for Christmas yet officially, but because of all the
Mhm.
random stuff she keeps getting at places, we kind of were decorated for Christmas. But now we have like even more. So it looks like North Pole like crossed over with our house right now.
Nice.
There's like just Christmas shit everywhere downstairs. But I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, but you had a good day?
Yeah, for the most part, didn't do the big turkey. That's still in the freezer. We just for Thanksgiving we just did like a Cornish hen, and then all the other normal sides. Although we didn't do any pies, we just did cornbread this year. But for the most part, just wanted to kind of keep it light and relaxing. And my wife had like basically the whole week off um, for the holidays, which she did like overtime the week before, so she would get that additional Monday and Tuesday, and I guess Wednesday off as well. But then we got a little bit of snow when she was supposed to go back. Well, no, she went back Monday. And then Tuesday we got a little bit of snow, and we've had like some flurries here and there, but nothing really sticking. But it was kind of icy in the morning, so she had to take another day off and whatnot. But just been relaxing, watching movies, playing some video games. Actually, got her to play a little bit of Diablo over the holidays.
Oh, nice.
um, yeah, so just been kicking back, relaxing. Haven't been on social media as much just because I've been doing other stuff. We got a replacement appliance coming in next week.
Mm.
For like when we got the house, we got a dishwasher, and it finally decided to give up last week. So it it took Home Depot until I guess was it going to be next Tuesday when it comes in and stuff, and found out I guess the code had changed. No more hardwire stuff. Or at least you're not supposed to do the hardwire stuff. You're supposed to patch
Yeah.
back into the GFC plug, and yeah. So not looking forward to the rest of the appliances. Although we've replaced the washer and dryer since. So those only are about 5 years old. The microwave the boys broke a while back.
Right.
The freezer in the basement still good because that's only about like maybe 3 or 4 years old. But the main fridge, knock on wood, it's still been holding up for 20 plus years, and
Wow.
the
That's
stove is
good.
still 20 plus. But yeah, the dishwasher. decided, the knob doesn't need to spin anymore. So,
Yeah. Yeah, we moved in here like 8 years ago, I think.
Mhm.
And so the stuff started like breaking finally for us too. Like we had to get a new microwave, like a built-in
Mhm.
microwave. So we had to get that. Our lights in all the like recess lights, like the can lights that are like built in. They're not like it's not like a bulb. You have to actually like
Right.
wire it in. All those
Mhm.
started going out. The dryer, like you said, like with yours, ours went out too, but I refused to buy one. Instead,
Mhm.
I became a YouTube appliance aficionado, where I learned
Nice.
how to replace the part I had to replace. Uh, I found it out like on YouTube and stuff. But at first, I thought, how like the dryer vents get clogged. You know, at first I thought it was just
Mhm.
that. So like I took a hose up outside and I took like the vacuum cleaner and I like was outside like using the hose and the vent and stuff, but didn't work. So it
Yeah.
wasn't that. It was something else. But got it fixed uh magically. I'm fucking shocked that we were actually able to do it because I'm not the handiest guy. But we did it because I looked at the price of the dryers, dude. Like they're way more than I remember when I was a kid. Because
Yeah.
my mom was always like shopping for dryers because the dryers always going out. So I remember like we always ended up buying like used ones at like garage sales and stuff.
Mhm.
But a couple times we ended up getting one. I remember like 150, $200. You could get a dryer back in the day. It's like 700 something dollars for a fucking
Yeah.
dryer, man.
Yeah.
Fucking 700 bucks for
Yeah.
a dryer. It's probably gonna last you 5 years.
Yeah. And that's the thing that sucks. It's like we had a washing machine when we first moved the house, moved into the
Yeah,
house. It was actually my mom's from. By the time we got in this house, it was probably 20 years old. That thing didn't stop working until I want to say 2 or 3 years after we got into the house. And instead of fixing it, which it was probably an easy fix because it was the drum that would spin,
yeah,
it was the problem because it was a top load. And I was like, you know what? It's 30 years old. Yeah, let's get a new one. And not realizing the new ones only last about, if you're lucky, 10 years or
right,
so. So yeah, that Whirlpool would have. It's probably still working. Probably somebody paid like 150 bucks, if that, for the replacement part and maybe the repair. Or if they did it themselves, probably half that. And the thing's probably going to work for another 20 years. Meanwhile, I think we're on our second second washer, maybe our. I think we're on our second washer, and yeah, not looking forward to a replacement at this point.
oh yeah. Right
Yeah.
on. Yeah, I kept a memento. This was the this little thing was a fucking bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, so on our dryer, now I know this is a gaming podcast, but we're getting to appliance territory here, everybody. So, like, a dryer has like a blower in it, right? To like blow
Mm-hmm.
air in, and that's what sends the air out through the vent and everything. It's how things get dry, not just the heat, you know?
Right.
And so I realized that after I got to access to a part that the blower wheel was like loose. It wasn't like actually spinning when the dryer was on. So the blower wheel was out. So I ordered a blower wheel. Well, now what happens is these things are designed to fail because they're made of plastic. But it's a plastic nut that's around this metal bushing
Mm-hmm.
that's supposed to be like solidified, like the plastic is around this thing, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the plastic nut is attached to the wheel. So in order to replace it, you're supposed to just, be able to like, twist off the nut and take the whole wheel out, and this is part of the wheel. Like this isn't supposed to be separate. But the problem with ours is because like I guess it melted or something, like the plastic. So the
Mm-hmm.
plastic around this was just loose. So this was attached to the motor, the bolt, but it's round.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to get this off was a pain in the ass. So I had to get like first like it's an inch. It was like an inch and a half like nut for the back. It was
Mhm.
huge, so I had to get a special bit for that. Then I had to get like vice grips for this, and then like just kept going at it and going at it. So I kept it as a trophy. I'm gonna make a fucking necklace with this because like how fucking hard this was to get off. But it felt so accomplished because the fucking dryer works now. It's like such a little
Yeah.
stupid thing that I can't believe they designed it that way. But anyway, I lost it. It's gone. I'm not gonna keep it. Anyway, yeah, dude. But that kind of stuff's been what's taking up life, just like bullshit like that. We had our Thanksgiving thing
Yeah.
too, where we went out and did our staycation thing, and I've been playing a lot of Arc Raiders.
Nice.
Have you touched Arc Raiders yet?
No, I see. I'm in the middle of finishing up my NASCAR
Yeah,
career. Like I've made it into Xfinity, or I still refer to it as the Bush League, but it's like the next step down from Cup. Finally started that. Doing well. Got some money left over, although I'm a lot wiser in spending money on the parts and stuff. So want to finish that before I buy any other games. And there's like 5 or 6 games I definitely want to buy. Like I still haven't bought Chronos. Still haven't bought Silent Hill 2, which I definitely want to pick those up. There's some more horror games coming this week,
yeah.
although some of them are in Game Pass, so that's pretty cool. I wanted to picking them up later on sale, but um, been playing a lot of Diablo, and they just had their season 11 update just a couple of days ago. Although I still don't know what's going to get unveiled over at the Game Awards. Supposedly it's not God of War. Supposedly it's not Diablo 4 expansion. Who knows? But yeah, I have yet to get to Arc Raiders, and I've been watching a lot of people play and a lot of different things. Like, I've been watching some of your streams and been watching a few other people in the community and stuff, and seeing I guess a member of the community now being like a heel kind of thing. It's like, hey guy, how you doing? And then he just winds up like obliterating people.
Yeah.
So there's like I guess people are starting to turn from nice to bad,
Oh,
almost like the way the Dark Zone was for the Division and
it's
stuff.
getting
But
ruthless, man, because like at first it was pretty like chill and everybody's like being friendly and stuff, or a lot of the lobbies
Mhm.
were. And now I'm running more and more into like the liars that are going to pretend to be nice. Like, are you
Mhm.
friendly? Or like, yeah, I'm cool if you guys are cool. Okay, yeah, well, we're cool. And then they just blast you as soon as, your back's turned or you're not aware or
Yeah.
whatever. And you'll get some of those that are just going to mess with you. Like I got downed or was it either yesterday or today, and the
Mhm.
guy was like, I got a defib I'll give to you if you can do was it today, like you can answer me a trivia question. I was like, okay, I'll go for it, bro. He's like, what are the 7 continents? So like I just blasted off the 7 continents. He's like, oh, I wish I had a defib. And then he killed me.
Oh.
So it's like but that's part of the game though, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We run into some not friendly still sometimes, but like because of that happening, it's like contagious. You know what I mean? Like it's caused us to be less friendly also. So we're just blasting
Mhm.
people now. We're looking for opportunities to take out people because that's how we're getting the best loot a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like it's been a fun ride with that game. It's like you never know what to expect, man. I can't wait to see what they make of it over time. But that's just one game for 2025, man. It's been a crazy year for
Oh yeah.
gaming. Like the Game Awards, I think like I said before, like this year for the Game of the Year nominees were like less egregious just because there's so many games that are justified to be
Mhm.
there. And you could pick probably 12 games that would have a justified chance at winning Game of the Year. Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been crazy. One thing I want to talk about before we get into last year's stuff, dude, is that statue.
Mhm.
So everybody's been talking about the statue. I don't know if you guys have all seen on Twitter and all the media has been talking about it and everybody. But somewhere out in the desert, I forget where it's located. There's this like demonic looking statue of like carbonite, like demon ghoul faces with like snakes and crocodiles and bears and demon people, and then there in the middle of it there's like a door gateway with steps leading up to it, and at the top there's
Mhm.
like this like center eyeball looking thing that's closed with these like tentacle-y things sticking out of it, or legs or
Mhm.
something, and it lights up
Mhm.
at night, all this crazy stuff. I'm sure you've seen this, Fuzzy.
Yeah.
Now, I've made two horrible guesses so far because after each, well, the first guess was a joke. But my second guess, I put out there, oh, it's got to be, if it's not Diablo, because Jason Schreier said it's not Diablo after everybody was saying it was
Yeah.
Diablo, right?
Yeah.
Um, then I was like, okay, well, it's not Diablo. Well, and then somebody was like, oh yeah, this is a reference to Oblivion because of the. It looks like this door in a certain part of Oblivion. I was like, okay, well maybe it's Elder Scrolls 6 then, because maybe it's carrying on from the story of Oblivion in a way,
Mhm.
right? So it could be Elder Scrolls 6. So that was my guess. Well, like 2 minutes after I made that post, Jason Schreier came out and said that uh, it's not Elder Scrolls
Elder
6.
Scroll.
Yeah. So my first guess was kind of a joke. In
Mhm.
DMs, I said Dante's Inferno remake just because it's so fucking random. But it would be cool and it would make sense for the statue. But man, what do you think it is, dude?
That's a tough one because I was originally on the Diablo 4 train as well prior to Jason Schreier, kind of, stepping on our hopes and dreams or whatever. But um, I've heard a lot of people, like you said, reference Oblivion as well as, maybe Elder Scrolls 6. Also heard some people say God of War, but I've heard that's been debunked as well. So there's two things that come to mind. And one of them kind of makes sense. The other one, I'm not sure if it fits the lore or not. Um, one of them being Path of Exile 2,
Yeah.
getting its 1.0 release. Because it's been in preview, I think, for about a year now, or roughly 6 months to a year. So maybe they're finally ready. Because I know there's been a lot of people saying, "Oh, when is it finally getting its 1.0 release?" Maybe that's how they announced their 1.0 release. I'm not sure it's that though. The other one that just it's been hinted at and talked about briefly, but I don't think it matches the lore. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's not Path of Exile. Pillars. Remember they're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing that ARPG. I don't know. I'm either Pillars, the ARPG that's being worked on by Obsidian, or Path of Exile 2. I mean, it's probably going to be something completely different that we're completely forgetting
Yeah.
about. Like, uh, I can't imagine it really being Devil May Cry kind of thing. I mean, it would be nice to have a Devil May Cry 6 at this point because it's been a while. Um, I don't really see Capcom going all out doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Of a non-platform holder publisher, about the only ones that I could really see possibly doing something as grandiose would be Sega. But I can't imagine what Sega would be doing that's in that vein. Like it escapes me unless because even Altered Beast wouldn't be something that looks like that, and Golden Axe
Yeah.
I don't think had anything that looked like that. But like as an independent, publisher, Sega has done some crazy things along those lines. Capcom, not as much. Um, yeah, that's about the only thing. But it wasn't God of War. Heard it wasn't Diablo. And if it's not Elder Scrolls 6, then it's like it's got to be something in a similar vein. But we're all going to
Yeah.
probably be like, hitting our forehead afterwards, like, oh yeah, oh yeah, now it makes sense. But I can't think of anything better at this point in time.
Yeah. I've been trying to think a lot about like what it could be, but like the problem is like that art style like fits with so many different things. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
could be a Souls type game, like a Elden Ring thing. It could be Demon
Mhm.
Souls, Dark Souls type thing. It could be um like you said, Pillars of Eternity. Could be Path of Exile. So one person that I saw made a good guess was Mr. Badbit on Twitter.
Mhm.
He had made a reference. He actually posted pictures from some of the trailers of Saros, and
Mm.
it's some of the artwork and structures in that game like look a lot like that statue. So, but
Interesting.
so it could be that. I recommend anybody go look at Mr. Badbit's timeline on Twitter and see if you can see what you think about his guesses there. But yeah, I hope it's just something exciting, man. Like I want it to be a new game reveal more than anything. Like Saros would be cool, like, but
Yeah.
we've already all seen a couple trailers for that game already. So like the
Yeah.
statue thing just adds to it, I guess. But like this thing is building up hype and excitement, and I want it to be for something that's like worth it.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be like, oh wow, holy shit, or like something we didn't see coming, like a return of something, or like
Hmm.
um something badass. Like now, some have also alluded to possibly something Baldur's Gate would be possible. I'll
Hmm.
throw Neverwinter Nights out there. But they did Baldur's Gate 3, so what if somebody did Neverwinter Nights 3? That could be really cool as well.
Interesting. Yeah.
But it's too tough to say, man. Like I just hope it's worth the hoopla about it, you know. So
Yeah.
the game adaptation newscast says I think it could be a b. What's a b? There's a bear in it, and you play a bear in the game. There's also a crocodile and a snake. So what's a b? When people use just the initials for games, I think I'm too stupid to audit for it to automatically come to me. Divinity
Mhm.
Original Sin 3 could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe like an update for Path of Exile. I don't think that's exciting enough either. You know, like I'm sure the community around that game will be excited, but I don't know. Give us a brand new game. It's the Game Awards.
So Altered Beast? Is
Well, Altered
that
Beast.
what he said?
Yeah, Altered Beast.
I
Okay.
mean, I, like I said, Sega, but I see. I would have thought that there would be more of like a werewolf head kind of thing, um, mixed into it, kind of deal. I mean, it would be nice to have Sega bring back some of its old IP. Like I said earlier, I don't think Golden Axe had that type of art style to it. And then for something like Altered Beast, it'd be kind of cool. I said this a long time ago when they were talking about that super game for Sega. Like if imagine Altered Beast, but imagine in today's time where it's like a third person perspective or maybe even a first person perspective where you transform from wolf to human or in between, and you're tearing limbs off of other creatures and stuff like that. Like that would be kind of cool to have something like that today.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But when's the Game Awards? Was that next
It's
week?
next Thursday. Yeah, so I'll be co-streaming that if you want to hop in, or it'll be next
Okay.
next Thursday around the time of when we'll do our show. So it'll be like the show for next week is just the co-stream for the Game Awards. Um, and what I mean by like I don't mean when I say a brand new game, I don't mean like it has to be a new IP, but it could be like the return of something or like the next big sequel of something, not just like an update to a fucking game or like expansion or a game that we've already been seeing trailers for that we know is coming. I want to see a new game reveal, you know,
Yeah.
because that's how like you can build up hype for it, and then do this announcement, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's badass. That's what that statue was. That's really cool." Anyway, um, we also today we did get a release date for Replaced. Did you see that trailer?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. So Replace is getting a release somewhere in March of 2026. So finally,
Nice.
one of the games that was supposed to be within 12 months 2 years ago, we have finally gotten a date. Next March 2026, everybody. We're getting it
Mhm.
finally. It looks really good though. Um, so Fuzz, I wanted to kind of get into the 2025 and just overall. Um, I think there's two things about 2025 with gaming is it's marked like a crazy year of game releases, but
Mhm.
also a crazy year of like evolution and changing in gaming, but also in the communities around gaming.
Yeah.
Like we can all just be honest and say like the Xbox community is not what it was like 2 years ago. Like we're
Yeah.
we're all fans and stuff, and we all love, like, you can say we all love Xbox, but like, and you can see it too, even like with all the podcasts and everybody out there, all the shows, like there's just like less. It's not like it was leading up to the ABK acquisition, or even like the launch of the last or the Series X and S and all those things. Now, granted, we're gonna have lots of hype on a Dev Direct, Game Awards, and Summer
Mhm.
Games Showcase and all these kind of things. But like this summer showcase, I didn't even have like a fan fest. The community had to put one together themselves. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
a lot of the shows you can kind of get the sense of like, and a lot of friends like that have in the community, like just kind of like there's like this been more of like a disconnect overall over the brand because the brand's changed so much, with
Mhm.
Xbox, that everybody was talking about, hey, it's losing its identity. And yeah, it's like lost its identity, but also like there's been a lot of things that are more for the benefit of gamers at the same time. So it's just
Yes.
weird. I think we've seen this year like mark the biggest change with like Xbox as a brand, involving the community, but also in their direction going forward. But then also we're hit with the curveball uh, earlier this week when Hip Hop Gamer threw out there, who was, I gotta point this out, Hip Hop Gamer was the very first person out there to put out that Xbox was doing a hybrid.
Mhm.
And then he put out there this week on made a video and put out there that PlayStation is also going to have a hybrid system that's going to be able to access Steam. Now, when he said this originally about Xbox, like it was kind of like off the wall, out of left field, right? Because like you had a lot of speculation about what Xbox could be doing, right?
Yeah.
Are the next consoles, and nobody really knew 100%. Like we, you know, all talked about when are they going to come? Are they going to do a mid-gen refresh? All those kind of things, and then like the rumors around the handheld started, and then the rumors around the hybrid thing started, right?
Yeah.
Around the same time, roughly, as the third-party stuff started swirling around, right? Maybe a little bit before. And well, all that stuff turned out to be true. But when he had made those original claims about the Xbox hybrid stuff, like nobody was really talking about that shit then, except a few
Mhm.
people behind the scenes in the podcasting community, like in the back
Yeah.
rooms of podcasts, were talking about this stuff. Um, People are familiar with, like we're talking about it, but like you're hearing this, like it's crazy. Again, some people had talked about that with us, like, oh, that sounds awesome to me, But then the third party rumors started, right? And
Mhm.
then the community exploded, and I don't think the Xbox community has recovered since, honestly. Um,
Yeah.
But it's interesting now, out of left field, when this PlayStation rumor hit. Now, the PlayStation community will refuse to believe this, right? And for me, it's like, whoa, like that doesn't sound like them at all. But the more I think about it, with who's in charge now and some of the other things they've been doing and moves they've been making, maybe it does make sense for them too. So in general,
Yeah.
I wanted to get your thoughts on like that PlayStation rumor from Hip Hop Gamer, and do
Mhm.
you think that is accurate? Do you think it's going to be able to dual boot one into like traditional PlayStation mode, and then a secondary option into like a Steam OS?
I, I would like to see it happen, but unless some more stuff changes on the chipset and some other things that they do on their software end of things, I have my doubts that it's at the beginning of the PS6 launch, unless they delay the PS6 launch even further. Um, because the thing to me that would make the most sense, although I think this is if it winds up being like a day one feature in the PS6, then it should also be in the PS5. Because I believe Steam is working on a browser access app. Like they already have the browser for their store, which can access your account. You can do your wish lists and communicate with friends in their forums and all that stuff. You can view your clips. About the only thing you can't do through their browser currently is play their games. But I think Steam is working on something like that. Now, I don't have an NDA, nor have I participated recently in any new stuff that they're doing. Like I did see a while ago that they were putting Steam OS on non-Steam decks. That was before the Legion Go S was announced. I saw that they've been trying to do the big picture mode on regular desktop PCs, and it's they have a public facing one and they've had the private one shortly after the Steam Deck was released that is more in tune with what we'll probably see on the Steam machine. Um, but that's I if I was a betting man, I would say that a Steam app slash browser interface that will allow you to access your library that way. I think that's what PlayStation will probably get as opposed to an actual dual boot setup. Is
Right. So
not
it
knocking
like
PlayStation. They're well, I was going to say that not knocking them, but they are not the best when it comes to coding and security.
right.
So doing a dual boot setup opens them up even more so. And yeah, I see them being hesitant to do that. But like if it's a browser, which they've been fighting tooth and nail not to have a browser because they know some of their customer base would just play Game Pass possibly, or at least prior to the price hike, they would probably just play Game Pass for some of their lesser expensive titles that come day and date there, as opposed to paying the $20 to $30 over on the PlayStation Store. And they're all about trying to get people to buy stuff within the PlayStation Store. They want that 30% cut of everything that moves. That's the whole reason why they've kind of eliminated digital purchases on Amazon and on places like CD Keys or whatever it's called now. I was it Juice or whatever they call it, um, and they've limited like even Best Buy selling digital cards, and the same thing with GameStop. So they I could see them doing something, but it's going to be browser slash app related and not bootable separately from PlayStation. Like it'll be something just like your Netflix app, your Prime Video app, or something like that. And I can't say 100%, but I would say that's the more likely that we'll see with the PS6. Now, with that being said, that should easily work on the PS5 then. Which I've been saying more recently. I wouldn't be surprised if we see our series consoles get a back update to do something similar to what the next Xbox can do. It's like the Xbox One can stream, current gen games via Game Pass or XCloud. I could see our series consoles doing something similar as well. But on the PlayStation side, the Steam library, I think they'll do an app, but then people are gonna start to wise up when it's like, oh, it's only on the PS6 but not the PS5, and it's a browser related thing. I
Right.
can't get a browser on the PS5. Um, so they're going to have to navigate that in a way that doesn't get their customer base up in arms. And even still, the PS4 would be able to do a browser thing, which it's probably the biggest drawback to the PS4 versus the Xbox One. At least the Xbox One can play current games via streaming, and the PS4 can't. Although the technology exists for them to be able to do so, the PlayStation isn't about to let PS4 owners that haven't upgraded to a PS5 play PS5 games on that console because that would go against their whole business model and stuff. But it would be cool if we could play Steam games on the next PlayStation. I mean, it explains what a lot of people have been asking. What is PlayStation going to do when there's the Steam machine and the next Xbox, which is a console slash PC? What are they going to do to differentiate? And a lot of PlayStation fans are like, oh, they'll just keep on making bangers. It's like
Yeah.
the bangers kind of slowed down this generation. So, yeah, they could keep doing that, I guess. And,
Or they could
you
keep
could play
re-releasing them
them.
bangers, right? Do it that way.
Yeah, and those same ones that come to PC, at least the non first party ones so far, day and date, you know, on PC and stuff. So I don't know. I would love to see it. I'm at the point now where because I have a whole bunch of different platform devices in the house, was totally against being a Nintendo Switch person and or a Nintendo person in general. Now that I got the Switch too, it's like, yeah, it'd be nice if I could play, something other than Nintendo games on it if I choose to through a browser or something like that. Been doing stuff like that with my Steam Deck. You can do the big picture mode with Xbox on the Meta Quest and stuff. Like, to me, that would be cool to have access to stuff you own through other devices. You know,
Yeah.
that's the future I would like to see. Moving forward.
Yeah, I just want access to all my games wherever at this point. Like that's been like one of the big changes I think, like going into this generation, like things are still, for the most part pretty normal as far as like what we considered the gaming industry and like the platforms and the ecosystems, but it's like this especially this year, like things are just opening up, you know, like so much more. And with that rumor too, that leads to even more thoughts about the future of gaming and what you know access to everything anywhere, and that's kind of like it's great to like have the whole like hey, Xbox better, or PlayStation better, or Nintendo or whatever, but like at the same time, I just don't give a shit anymore about that stuff. I see people. I saw this fucking guy on Twitter. It was like yesterday or something, and he was like, PlayStation outsold Xbox 92-1 in Spain for Black Friday. I'm like, who the fuck care? Like, are we actually still? Is this actually still a thing? Like, is this actually still going on where people are trying to reference and compare sales of consoles in 2025 about what's winning and what's doing better? Just like, who fucking cares, man? Like, just give us our fucking games. We can play them wherever
Hmm.
we are. I don't give a shit how many fucking things outsell another thing or whatever. We can play the games wherever we are anyway. Who gives a shit about that stuff anymore? Like, the people are still caught in this like trap, this trapped mentality of the 80s and 90s and like the early 2000 console wars and stuff, and it's like now we're progressing out of that, and very rapidly it's definitely changing. But it's like i I see these people that have like their entire identities been wrapped around this like war mentality of this and just trashing on a platform constantly and stuff, and it's like it's it, it's gone. That doesn't matter anymore. Like, it's time for everybody to move on past that shit and just focus on the fucking games.
Hmm.
Like, I don't understand that this stuff is still continuing. I can't even like, I scroll through Twitter and I look at it, and if I scroll sometimes and it's like, is this 2025 or is this 2022? Like, have we not learned anything over the last 3 years that have just completely changed everybody's mentality? Like, I have. I'm sure that you have too, and a lot of other people have in the Xbox community, but like, it seems like people are just holding on to this because like they want things to be the way they were, and it's just not anymore. Like, gaming is going to an open ecosystem. Yeah, you're still gonna have like Nintendo and stuff be the last holdouts, but it's things change, man, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. Like, I I don't have any complaints. That's one of the hardest things for me, Fuzz, especially with the channel lately, is like the I almost like just feel bad for the people saying the ridiculous shit now on Twitter. I just scroll past. I don't even care to reply or respond to any of that stuff or even talk about it on the shows, because it's like it's so stupid. Like, how can you respond or even talk about these people that are living like that life still when we're all eating these games, this releasing relentlessly, that are
Yeah.
playable in so many places? Like, I care how many consoles Xbox sold in Spain in a period of time comparatively to PlayStation? No, nobody gives a shit about that stuff. It's just gotten so crazy, man. Like, that where people just can't move on. Like, just and play the games. Just play the fucking games.
Yeah. I I took this mentality from even when I was just a PlayStation guy with the PS3. It's like the sales of the console doesn't make the game play any better or any more or less enjoyable where I'm playing it. And I don't. Yes, I do have shares in both companies, although some more shares in the more valuable company. But I really don't care either way how many consoles they sell because other than that less valuable company putting 30% of their means of survival on their gaming portion, you know, it doesn't really affect the share price quite as much as people may think. Um, but aside from that, I also look at it from like me being a car enthusiast. I've owned Camaros, I've owned Mustangs, I love them both. I haven't owned a Challenger all that long for when I had my muscle cars and things like that, but it was always like I don't care how many of something sells. It doesn't make my time with this car and the mods I've put into it any more or less enjoyable. Like just for parallel sake, more F-150s are sold than pretty much 90% of the cars out there. Does it mean that F-150 is the must-have vehicle, or would you rather have a nice sports car if you don't have to carry wood or timber or whatever in the back of a truck? I think a lot of people would take the fun sports car to tool around in kind of thing. Now, if you have to do more than work stuff, yeah, obviously the truck makes more sense. But like, I think people just need to focus on why they've picked that particular platform and enjoy that platform. So if the platform offers games that they like, play those games, celebrate those games. No video coverage of you playing those games. And I'm not saying or calling out people that, oh, you didn't show gameplay, so how do we know you don't play the game or playing the games? But it's like I think that would be and not to make it so it's like an argument thing, like, oh, look at the visuals at Gran Turismo versus Forza. And no, it's if you have fun playing the game, show you're having fun. Like post your clips or post screen caps because I know a lot of people post or take screen caps and then never post them because I'm guilty of that. Where I have my storage filled up with pics and videos of games that you know what I haven't even posted any of this stuff. It's like I'll just mass delete it, and this build up another collection, and then maybe on an occasion it's like, oh, you know what, this clip was kind of cool, I'll post that kind of thing, or this pic was kind of cool, I'll post that type of deal. But the games are the main thing. Like we could agree to disagree on controllers. Like before coming to Xbox, the symmetrical sticks, that was fun. Fighting games, great. Driving games, great. A wheel preferred, obviously, for driving games. But if you're in a pinch and you want to use a controller, it was serviceable. And I got used to I forget what they call it, but it's like the opposing stick, or not the opposing, but like the way Xbox has their offset. That to me is more comfortable. And ever since then, I've been hooked on that type of controller layout. So it's like, if we're going to debate on which controller is better, and the Steam controller looks weird once again, much like their original one, but after using the Steam Deck for so long, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I'll be able to get used to it pretty quick. But outside of that, like the boxes themselves don't really matter. The controller is more of like a personal preference thing. And then sure, there are some exclusives on either platform, some longer than others kind of thing. But I would say it comes down to the controller that you're most comfortable with, and friends that you have on that platform, for party chats or just squatting up for certain games, and just go with that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care about the sales of the box anymore. It's like I already got each one of the boxes in this room type of deal. Some collecting dust, some not collecting dust, but it is what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a freaking fun year and a bit overwhelming when it comes to games. Like if anything, that needs to be the focus. I mean, sure, we could talk about a lot of new hardware and devices that have come out this year. Like if you're into handhelds in any way, shape, or form, this was a year for you to go pro, basically. Um, but also VR is starting to step up, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's niche and stuff," but there are some interesting use cases for it. Like for somebody that's into sims, whether it's sim racing or sim flying. I mean, Flight Sim is VR compatible, although you don't really have a way of putting that to use on the console. But if you're playing it on PC, there are ways to get that to work with it. I don't recommend using VR for Grand Theft Auto in first person mode. It will actually really make you sick. I don't care what people say. And then there's a ton of driving games, not just Gran Turismo, that you can use VR with as well. That is pretty cool. Now, is it the end all be all? No. I mean, having the steady screen in front of you works just fine, but every now and then it's kind of cool. You're playing a racing game, like for me, playing it on PC, doing the Steam link to it, and then playing it that way. It is a different experience, and I wish more developers took the time to hone that. A lot of times, it's usually third party mods or community mods and things like that that allow it to work on certain games. But it's a cool tech that I would say is probably still a year or two away from being more widely adopted. I don't think it'll ever be mass adopted, but as these things
Yeah.
get smaller on your face and less heavy, I mean, they've already gone wireless. Like the Quest 3, I mean, except for when you do the Steam Link, obviously, it's already wireless. The Steam frame is going to be pretty much wireless when
Yeah.
you're even connected to your PC. I would say that probably the Quest 4 would be one to keep an eye on. Samsung's dipping their toe into it as well. Apple just shot for the moon and pretty much landed in the ocean with the Vision Pro. Great tech, but way
Yeah.
overpriced for even early adopters. And I would say probably in the next 5 years, whatever your size of your sunglasses or regular reading glasses, there'll be something closer to that, they'll be more in tune with gaming that will wirelessly connect to your console or your computer or your Steam machine like device or whatever is out there. And I think that's when it might become more adopted, although we'll see what pricing looks like. If those things are still 500 freaking bucks, even when they're that small, or probably they'll be more expensive for being that small. It's probably not going to do as well. But when they can finally get the pricing under 500, it doesn't, wear your neck or
Yeah.
head out after like 3 hours of use. Then yeah, I think more and more people might look at it and say, you know what, I'll try this and do more than the 3D videos or the 360 videos and the roller coaster games and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Um, yeah,
I
this
think
has been a fantastic year.
I think like we've had a lot of cool announcements and device and hardware stuff this year, and that's part of like the evolution thing. Like the Steam Frame is probably the only VR device I've seen since forever. I mean, since originally when VR came out, I was like, oh, I gotta try that, all that kind of stuff, right? Like Steam Frame actually has me like thinking, okay, it's getting to that point now where I hoped after my original experiences with VR that eventually it would start to get to that would make it more appealing for me again. Because like it is looking like a lot more lightweight, smaller, like untethered. I just felt like an idiot. Like you have like this giant fucking heavy thing on your head. Your eyes start sweating. Like the fucking like it's just crazy. You have all these wires hanging out, or like you feel so restricted. Like that was my original experience when I originally got the Oculus Quest or what the first one that came out.
Mhm.
And now it's like you see this and it's like okay, smaller, lightweight device you just put on and it's like untethered and you just go. And I think that's going to be the direction that's going to be the most mass appeal to grow VR as opposed to, the major enthusiasts that have to have the biggest, most powerful things. You know what I mean? So I'm liking the
Yeah.
direction that's going. And I think between that, like Steam obviously being, available on the Xbox devices going forward as well as an option
Yeah.
in their stores, and then also if the rumor of even if it's like you said, Fuzzy, even if it's just like an app and you launch it within PlayStation, if it boots up into Steam and you can just access your games, it's like, hey, that's all I would care about being able to do anyway, So
Yeah.
it's almost like Steam's taking over gaming, bro. Like they have super appealing VR headset coming out. They have the Steam machine that's getting
Mhm.
a little bit of attention for sure, and also going to be playable possibly on not only the Xbox but the PlayStation. Like you're talking about pretty much the console space across the board between their console like Steam machine, the Steam Deck, and then also Xbox and PlayStation being available everywhere. And imagine how many more households that gets them into that weren't really PC gamers or all that other kind of stuff having access to their games. So it's like kind of interesting that this private company, Gabe Newell and Valve, went from making games into launching a PC store, and now like transforming not only as a just storefront but also a hardware company and
Mhm.
having all these devices that are being highly sought after. So it seems like they understand gamers. But
Yeah.
as far as the PlayStation thing, like if it's true or not, I saw Belu in the chat earlier said that he thinks the rumor was just like to downplay the hype of the Xbox hybrid. I don't think so because like I was actually on a show that Hip Hop Gamer was on, and he was there, and I remember him talking, and like even after the show a little bit, like he's super excited about what Xbox is doing. Like
Mhm.
he's not trying to downplay what Xbox is doing with this next generation. Like he's super excited about it, and he's made videos and posted of how sick he thinks it's going to be, how awesome. When everybody was talking shit on Xbox, even after the third party stuff and the rumors and all these other kind of things, he put videos out there talking about how awesome like what he heard is going to be for Xbox. He was just telling people, just wait, just wait, just wait. So it wouldn't make sense for him to put out a rumor now to downplay what Xbox is doing. Like it just, that wouldn't make sense unless he's fed some false information or something. I don't know. And I don't know all of his track records either. So I know he was right about the Xbox thing. Maybe he could be wrong about the PlayStation one. But the reason I was thinking about it so much because like you see some of the other moves that they did. Like they just announced another display, like
Hmm.
a monitor, a PC monitor. They
Yeah.
had at their last thing that they did, they had PC speakers the shown at it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I'm trying to think of like what are they trying to accomplish, right? Because yeah, it's like well, it doesn't make sense. They would just be taking people away from their storefront. Well, it seems like they've had a hard time getting their own PC store up. Like you've talked about numerous
Yeah.
times, Fuzzy. Like they have kind of failed at that. That was at the beginning of this generation. There was reports that they were working on their PC store, and that was from
Hmm.
credible, like big time journalists reporting on this stuff. It's 2025 now. There's no store in sight. But they started releasing their games on Steam, and the windows even
Yeah.
closing for those games going to Steam. Also, as far as the time that you have to wait for them, and there was some rumors like 2 weeks ago, like oh they're starting to go away from PC because they're not happy. I think that was all bullshit. Like honestly, like
Yeah. That was.
that's all bullshit. They're not. They're going more into it than anything. They're going to be leaning into. That's the room for growth. Like,
Hmm.
and that's why I could see them actually doing this because they're gonna sell a lot of consoles, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna continue to sell PS5s. They're gonna sell a lot of PS6s, but they're not gonna sell more every generation than they did the last. They're not even getting back to the PS2 generation, how they had the most consoles sold then. Like they're still gonna struggle to match that. Like, and we're talking about you know 100 million plus consoles being sold, but you're not really growing the console base. You're selling to the same amount of consumers, but what we found is that those consumers are buying less of the big games. They're just spending most of their time in these black hole games, right?
Yeah.
Um, so like, what audience can they try and attract? Is the PC audience? Well, if the Xbox is doing that too, Xbox been going after the PC crowd for a while now, but also they're even more so leaning into it next generation. But if PlayStation's looking at this, okay, well, Steam's taking a foothold on everything. They have this massively growing PC market. More gamers are playing at their desk these days, not
Hmm.
necessarily in their living rooms and stuff as much as they used to. And we see the younger crowd. That's how they all play. Like all the younger audiences
Tablets
and
and
kids. I mean, yeah,
phone.
yeah. I mean, they all have these setups and stuff, and like they want to stream and do all these other kind of things. Like, they're selling accessories now for these gamers, right? They're selling they're selling the monitors. They're selling the speakers. So it's like, well, we're not going to attract PC gamers if it's just a PlayStation because that's all that they already have that, and it's not been attracting PC gamers yet. So what can we offer them? Well, how about let's give them the access to Steam and make it able to be their Steam library plus also their console library. Maybe they would actually use it on their setups, you know what I mean? And as opposed to being locked into like, hey, this is for TV device, you know what I mean? Like maybe they want
Hmm.
people to see it as, hey, this isn't just for the living room, you know? And obviously it's not. I know a lot of people have PlayStation set up on their desk and all that other kind of stuff, but like it just attracts another crowd, that may have not potentially been as interested in it before. So I don't know. It's just a thought about could they be doing that? I think they could.
Yeah.
And that would be the hope to attract more users, basically, is what I think they would hope to. I'm not saying it would work. I don't know. Could be a horrible idea. You
Mhm.
know, it could backfire on. I don't know, but that could be
Yeah.
what they're thinking. Um,
I, I I think you're onto something with that because it becomes a convenience factor. And I remember some of the debates as far as the whole day and date on PC, because there's a lot of people that have great PCs that don't see the value in spending 500 or more now to get a console just to play a game that if they wait, they could wait 6 months to a year, it'll come over to PC likely. And if it doesn't, there's tons of other games that they can move on to. So someone that already has that set up might see the PlayStation. Oh, I can play my Steam games there instead of because before the Steam machine was announced, if you wanted to have a second PC set up for like let's say a living room and you didn't want to do like some in the community where they built a TV or built a PC specifically to connect to their TV and stuff, and that can be expensive. So a $500 or $600 device, the Steam machine kind of fits into that niche. But having the PlayStation where you could still play your Steam games could be that second PC sort of thing in the house. Where if you do decide, well, you know what, I'm going to play Escape from Tarkov downstairs on the TV instead of at the office and upstairs kind of thing. That PlayStation having access to your Steam library now that Tarkov is on Steam kind of makes sense. Although Steam is definitely putting their hat in the ring with that Steam machine because it's a device that's more powerful than 70% of those that participate in the surveys. Now, that's always a loaded talking point because not everybody participates in those surveys, and for those that do, a lot of those might be people that are just playing PUBG with the minimal settings, but they want the high frame rate, but they could care less about the grass and the foliage and all that stuff that kind of gets in the way of them seeing the targets and stuff. Um, so it's definitely an interesting move for them. There is going to be that question because people said the same thing with Xbox. Well, if the Xbox can play Steam, then why would you buy any more games on Xbox? Well, no, dual entitlement. I think people are still going to want to buy games on Xbox, especially because on occasion there are sales that aren't on Steam, and they can be a better sale for those things, especially with the for you sales that Xbox likes to do. That I know a lot of people are kind of looking at that question of AI in these upcoming devices, but whatever AI or logarithm they're using for their store seems to work because it knows the games that you play or that you've played or were looking to purchase. And oh, well, we just knocked an extra $30 off for this game for you. And you might not see something like that on Steam. So you're more likely to pick it up on Xbox at that point. But something like that could happen with PlayStation where they're going to have to look at those metrics on, hey, is it better for pricing wise for the person to pick up Ratchet and Clank on Steam or Ratchet and Clank on our store? They For their sake, hopefully they always make it so it's $5 cheaper through the PlayStation store. But you know, there's going to be some occasions where it might be a better deal to pick it up at Steam. But they'll learn, they'll find out, they'll figure it all out. But it would be so cool to have that as the option to the PC household that wouldn't mind expanding into PlayStation if it wasn't just a PlayStation. Um, and I think that's where having Steam on that device will help. I mean, much like having Steam on an Xbox helps. It's like, you get the
yeah.
best of both worlds. Although I think with Xbox, it's kind of like I wouldn't say a match made in heaven, but it's like Xbox has always been PC is Xbox, Xbox is PC. And the more that they merge those stores, the more it makes sense now, especially with that whole dual entitlement stuff. But you know, people used to say, "Oh, those are just buzzwords." No, they're
Yep.
actually very useful.
I mean, it's crazy to think about what it's going to be like 5, 10 years from now, like with the devices, the amount of devices that we have that can play all the games. and Nintendo's be the last holdout, and it's like I don't know. Like I've Nintendo's just kind of pissed me off at this point. I I want to be excited for their games. Um,
Mhm.
and the Switch 2 is a huge improvement over the Switch 1, like for sure, and I do like the device better, but like it's hard for me to get excited for any of the games that come out just because it seems so dated. I mean, I did try the Donkey Kong demo, and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. It feels fun and stuff, but like, I don't know. Like, I see these Metroid Prime videos, and everybody's talking about, oh, this looks amazing, or it's incredible, or all this stuff. I'm like, man, I played shit that looked better than that, like in fucking 360 days.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's to be excited about the brand new tentpole games that come out if they just aren't blowing you away. I mean, you can say, well, it's like, hey, but it's all about the fun and stuff. Was like, yeah, but like that's like every game is just about that. Like, we're not pushing the boundaries with anything. It's just like then you get this repetition shit of like, well, Mario's Mario, Donkey Kong's Donkey. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's kind of like the
Mhm.
rut I feel like we're stuck in. It's like it's for the fun, it's for the nostalgia. Yeah, and it is, but like I also want to be excited about some other next level shit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but it's just not possible with that device. But
Yeah.
anyway, it is what
That
it is.
well, the Switch 2, I was really hoping it would be closer to, and in some instances, it is a little more powerful than the Steam Deck in some instances, but the game output that it's doing, I'm very happy, or I'm more happy with my Steam Deck purchase than I am with my Switch 2 purchase. The only thing that would really change that, and this is going to probably sound silly of me, but like I get it. Their online is the cheapest of all the platforms. It's like $20 for the year. I just want to rebuy the game since I wasn't a Nintendo kid. I was always a Sega kid. I didn't myself own Super Mario Brothers or Mario World or any of those earlier games. And without doing the whole piracy thing, Nintendo lawyers stay back. um, I would rather on the Switch 2 have the ability to buy the game, not rent it through a subscription, which, ironically, yes, I know I'm doing the same with Game Pass, but I can choose to buy those games that I see fit that I want to add to my library. So if I had that option with the Nintendo eShop and my Switch 2, I'd be happy. But because I can't purchase, Super Mario or Super Mario Brothers 3 or Super Mario World or any of that stuff, it just feels like, well, now I kind of know why people pirate the stuff. It's like I'm not going out there and buying an original NES. If I own an original NES, I wouldn't want to hook it up to a 4K TV these days. I have like the Super NES Mini, and that thing is a pain because you can do like the little borders on the side to make it look like it's an arcade cabinet or whatever, and that just feels silly to me. But in the grand scheme of things, I'd rather just buy those games on the Switch 2, know that I own them, and not have to worry about having to subscribe to it to be able to play them, kind of thing. But Nintendo's stuck in that nostalgia and
Yeah.
fun of yesteryear that everybody keeps talking about. And it's like I'm just waiting for the CIA report on the hypnosis that Nintendo fans are under because of the music in the games and stuff. I mean, at some point, it's bound to be a breaking story kind of thing because that's the only thing I could think of. Like maybe it was just that the Sega music outdid it for me for in comparison to Nintendo music. I don't have that attachment with Nintendo like I see a lot of my peers have that grew up on it. It's like can you play a Nintendo game and have fun with no sound on, or at least have turn the music off? Are you still having fun? Like if not, you're probably it's subliminal. But
Right.
enough of
Do
my
do
tinfoil hat
do do
theory.
do 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 do. It's yeah, it's interesting how much sound impacts games though. Like in general, like if you turn the sound
Yeah,
off, like a lot of games just feel lifeless sometimes. Like it's like wow, like the sound of, or the music or whatever just adds so much, and maybe more so than any other with the Nintendo games. I don't know, man, but it's
yeah.
yeah, I just like here's the thing. I love I loved Sega, right? I loved Nintendo.
Mhm.
I loved PlayStation. I loved Xbox. You know, like I love all the platforms. I love all the ecosystems. But at times, just certain ones just don't click. Like right now, PlayStation. The only reason I have a PlayStation again is so I could play GT7. Well, like, oh, that's
Yeah.
the power of exclusives, man. See, they got you. They got you to get into it and get GT7 because it's exclusive. So they got one more console sale to add to the charts that everybody can write about on Twitter and compare to other platforms. But guess what? They ain't fucking making hardly any money off of me. They're nothing.
Yeah.
Because that's the only game I care to hop on and play every once in a while. That's the only reason I have it. All the other games right now, I'm completely content with waiting till they come out on PC. And the only reason I have to
Mhm.
have it is because I, for some reason, they fucking won't put that game on PC. So I have I have GT7, I have a PlayStation, just so I can fucking play. And I hate it. I hate living in a world where I have to have a system to play one fucking game.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. It doesn't benefit PlayStation that I do that. They don't make money on the fucking hardware sales. They sold one fucking game.
Mhm.
That's who's that supporting. It's not supporting anybody. If they had sold the game somewhere else, guess what? They would have made 30% less from me.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Well,
well, you know, like put it at give as a gamer, I want my games as many places as they can be, so I don't have to do that shit. I'm sick of having to buy fucking hardware because I really fucking want to play that one game. Like, I'm done with it. I say I'm done with it, but when that one game comes out, I'm gonna have to do it again because
yeah.
I'm a gamer and I want to fucking play the games that I want to play.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like if I really want to play a game, I'm gonna find a fucking way to play that game.
Yeah.
But it sucks,
I,
man.
I
I hate it.
I think PlayStation is. I wouldn't say that they're shooting themselves in their foot, but I think GT7 is a good enough game that if they released on PC, it would become a moddable game that a lot of sim racing communities would probably use. And it's not a slight against Forza in any way. The only complaint I have with Forza is that they're so strict against mods. And I get it, the online racing, they want to keep that as pristine as possible, but they should make it where the check-in should be able to tell that you've modded something that would affect the online, or just keep all the script stuff on the server side. So that way any mods that you've done other than maybe visual stuff doesn't necessarily affect the game or the sanctity of the competition online. I know PlayStation would probably try to hold that same caliber, but the way they write their games, I don't feel they block mods as much as Turn 10 has in the past. Like I've tried some light mods that are more so just like visual skins or reskins of some of the cars. Instead of using the in-game paint booth, which it's a great paint booth, don't get me wrong, but there are certain things that you can't do that should be doable in their paint booth, and that's like adjustable text. Like if you're using scalable letters or things like that for like decals and stuff. I mean, GT7 has it where you can
Yeah.
even do that on console, but as far as upload graphics and stuff, the minute I tried that and it's like I go to start up the game, it's like we've detected mods. If you don't want your account banned, uninstall and reinstall. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I can't. All right, let me try offline. And offline, like, unmodded, put it offline, then close the game, go ahead and mod it. It still gives me the error message, and it's like, uh, and I'm not as good at modding games as I once was, as far as some of the pack and I forget what you call them now, but the things that basically would extract the details so you can mod the details and then repack it so the game would be able to run. A lot of the stuff that I'm used to messing with isn't usable anymore. So it's like I they made it so if you mod the game, it's easily detected and there's no way to really work around it other than maybe your car library, which I know there are mods out there for Forza Horizon where you can
Yeah.
have a million versions of the same car or even cars that aren't even in the game yet, kind of thing. And it usually doesn't affect it if you keep it offline, but I'm not taking a chance of them banning my account if I forget to either keep it offline or something like that. Like, I just wish they were a little bit more open to mods, but PlayStation not allowing GT7 out there to be like a replacement kind of for Assetto Corsa. Like I honestly believe they could supplant Assetto Corsa
Oh,
with
they would
GT7
do
if
numbers
they
on
put it on
fucking
PC.
PC. Yeah, I mean, it would be really, really sought after from that community, I think. Mac 22TH54 with a $2 super chat says, Mav, I just got here. Did you guys talk about Micron? No, I didn't touch on Micron. Micron is leaving the consumer products section in order to focus on making RAM for server farms, pretty much, is what I think the move was. Is that right? Is that correct, Fuzz?
Even hear about the Micron stuff. I've,
Yeah, they
I've been
they
completely
are.
disconnected.
Yeah, so I get like, and they're one of the three major like producers of RAM, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't I don't fucking know any of this shit, guys. I don't follow this stuff, right? I'm just repeating the stuff I saw on Twitter, and they are leaving the consumer focused business to focus on um, just make business like to commercial like server like farms and stuff like that, right? Is what
Great.
I think it is. They're moving to that. Um, Now, I think part of it could be also because of the way things are going technology wise, with a lot of things being more cloud based and cloud computing and AI and all that other kind of stuff. Like, personal computer power in the future is going to be less necessary for a lot of people, and um, it's just a thought where a lot of the power is going to be based on these farms and stuff. So that's why I think they're probably doing it. Um, so I think a lot of people are thinking there's going to be shortages and RAM's going to be more expensive and all that kind of stuff for personal PCs and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, guys. I don't know much about it. That's just kind of like my takeaway from it. You haven't heard about it, Fuzz, but that's, I guess, the gist of what's going on.
I'll give my 2 cents on it. I'm not as familiar as far as with the Micron change, but it I hate to say this because I know it's going to affect some shares I own. I just wish this AI bubble would pop. I, I think we're wasting a lot of time, money, resources on this AI train. It's going to result in you being able to tell your phone the same stuff you tell it now to set a doctor's appointment or to, put a dinner master plan together if you're trying to lose a certain amount of pounds for, a holiday or whatever. Like, I think they're putting more effort and energy into AI than it will ever deliver on in an effective way. And if it means that, companies like Nvidia are all in on this and, They ignore the gaming side that kind of made them in the beginning. And sure, Enterprise is now making them a ton more money with their chips and things like that, especially all these server farms or AI farms and whatnot that running up electric bills in various communities to the point where, hey, why don't we bring back like mini nuclear plants, like the same power supplies from aircraft carriers? Have them use that instead of being on the grid, forcing our electric bill up, kind of thing. Make them buy something along those lines. Although then you got the question of, well, I don't want a nuclear sub, propulsion system running this AI farm in my backyard, kind of deal. But it's it's frustrating because it's causing things to get more expensive when it's not the right time to make things more expensive for the heck of things. And the fact that memory is going to negatively affect the Steam machine price and probably the next generation of console price, and there's no way to really get around that. Yeah, I hate it because it just means that we'll pay $200 to $300 more than what we probably should in a year or two for the next consoles, all because memory cut prices have gone through the roof for, I wouldn't say bogus reasons, but for, I'll just say reasons. Uh, but I hate it. I
Yeah.
really hate it. And when the bubble pops, hey, share prices will be more reasonable because I still don't know why a lot of them haven't split. I think the only one that did a recent split was Netflix, and Netflix isn't really in the AI game,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't even matter. But yeah,
It,
it
it's
annoys me.
I think with tech especially, like there's always, it almost seems artificial in a lot of ways how they, okay, this entire industry, we're gonna all get in on NFTs. Somebody comes up with it does really well for them. They see like this and promote it, start spreading around like wildfire. Every company's like, hey, we're getting in behind this, we're getting in behind this. Everybody's shares go up because at all their fucking shareholders meetings and all that stuff, they start saying all the buzzwords and start talking about this and how they're going to do this. Everybody gets excited because all these people are greedy, money hungry fuckers out there, and they're like, oh my god, this is the next big thing, we're all going to get rich on NFTs. And then it was like, oh well, that didn't work out. Oh hey, how about this one, right? How about this
Yeah.
one? What was the next one? The next one was oh geez, what was it?
Well, you got the cryptocurrency, which no shame or no shade to any of those that have invested in it. I had plenty of opportunity to pick up Bitcoin, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not, but it is what it is. I do have some, but it's more so
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're just going to sit there, and I never look at it until like the banks fall apart, and then I'll take a look at it. But um, yeah, cryptocurrency is another one that they kind of tried to usher in, and there's only like three out there that are, I won't say reputable, but worthwhile, and the rest of them are kind of fighting for the scraps afterward, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Um, this AI thing, like, hey,
I remember what the next one was. Is it went from NFTs?
what's
Well,
that?
that didn't work out. Oh, everybody, hey, the next thing is Meta. We're all fucking gonna be
Oh
living
yeah.
in fucking virtual worlds here, like Ready Player One, in the next 5 years. So everybody in the world's gonna own a VR headset and be hooked in and living like a vegetable in a fucking floating chair, and we're all gonna fucking just be uh, investing our entire lives in buying fake virtual properties. And this is all happening now. We all
Yeah.
got to get in on it. Mark Zuckerberg even says, "Hey, we're changing the fucking name of our company. We believe in this." Oh,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? Every company got bought into that. Every fucking big tech company is like using the word meta. The meta is the future. All this shit. Guess what? Flop. Like what is the fuck? It's not even a thing. And then now it's AI. Now AI actually has more real world actually applications and stuff, and is actually a thing
Yeah.
that is being done. But the same thing. Everybody's like all in on this shit now. We're all in because it's the next thing. We're all gonna get rich off of. Guess who you're getting rich off of? It's fucking shareholders. This is people
Mm-hmm.
investing. It's not the success of the fucking products. It's not the ingenious stuff that's happening. It's the shit that you're selling. It's all sales. It's all sales, and they have to invest money into companies and things like this to tell you that they're doing it to get you excited so you can invest more money into the fucking parent company, and the guess what, all your stocks go up and everybody gets fucking happy, and then guess what, turns out it's all fucking bunch of baloney. Also, all of these things all actually have pathways where they actually can become something, but they have to go through natural progression of tech evolving and technology getting better. It's not going to be forced by a bunch of fucking companies all of a sudden deciding we're doing this now, we're doing this now, we're doing. It comes from the ingenious people that started working on this shit in the first place. Like, and
Yeah.
if they continue to do the stuff that they're working on and develop it over time, things will eventually happen. And then the stuff that people got excited for 10 years ago will actually, you'll actually see fucking start coming to fruition. But there will be no hype, no hoopla, no big bubble,
Yeah.
anything like that when it actually becomes reality. I just wonder what the next thing's going to be after AI, because they will have to come up with something, Fuzzy. Because if it pops,
Well,
they need a new bubble to start.
what was that in-home robot that's like 65 pounds or something? It looks like it's wrapped in knitted stuff. It basically, there's that AI robot that
Yeah,
you can
robots will probably be the
spend
next thing.
500 a
Yeah,
month. Well, you could either spend 500 a month to have it, and it's like a subscription thing where it will be controlled more than likely by a human being doing remote, like via VR or whatever, controlling it in your house, which sounds kind of creepy to begin with. But or you could spend 20 grand and have it where you get lifetime support, but the company be around 2 years from now, who knows? Um, but they still have it where you'll have to call in on occasion to have a human being supposedly teach it how to wash your dishes or something. So it's like, I mean, novel idea. Sure, everybody wants a Rosie from the Jetsons kind of thing, but
right.
I think we're going about it the wrong way. Like an in-home robot versus. I mean, well, then again, I laugh. We've already had smart refrigerators, smart washers and dryers and whatnot, where it's like, oh, everything has to be on the freaking Wi-Fi now, just so it
Yeah,
works, kind of thing. Um,
you need
but yeah,
eggs. You're out of eggs, Fuzz. Would you like me to add it to your
should run
Amazon cart?
eggs. And Amazon
Um,
already has it preset to resupply you in 2 days.
yeah, no
I'm like,
wonder all
no,
this shit's
no.
getting expensive. The fridges keep ordering useless amounts of food. Um, yeah, it's crazy. It is insane, like all the stuff we saw like back in the day. Like if you watch like Back to the Future back in the day, like the shit that you see,
Mhm.
like oh that's like it's like realistic stuff now.
Yeah.
Mac 22TH54 with the $5 says, Fuzzy, I know you're joking, but they are talking about nuclear to power some of the new servers. Great. We'll
Yeah, no,
see.
I'm kind of serious about it because yeah, I've heard that that's probably the better way to go about it. The drawback being we've already had it where nobody wants a nuclear power plant in their backyard, so having the propulsion system from like an aircraft carrier or a nuclear sub in a
Yeah.
building in your backyard kind of thing. I mean, personally, I won't have a problem with it as long as I'm 5 miles out. I know that's still within the blast zone if something goes wrong.
Yeah, you'll just
Um,
die slower.
yeah, I'll glow in the dark, and yeah, I'll instead of instant death, it'll be a slow melting, liquidy, gooiness death kind of thing. But I much rather have them have those in those buildings as opposed to making our electric bill go up because they're using 30% more electricity than what the grid can really handle at the current moment. And, I think it's Pico out here. It used to be Con Edison when I was in New York. They're all scrambling to, barely maintain I won't say barely, but like to just to maintain the grid as is, just from population growth and more utility and use because of people charging their cars now at home and stuff like that. To have this AI farm in the same area where it's like all day, every day, it's scraping the internet and scraping every digital reference of video and audio and stuff like that, you know, all hours of the day and night. Yeah, put them on nuclear power. Don't
Yeah.
don't make my electric bill go up. Make their own. Have them pay for their own electricity via that propulsion system, and I'll be happier because being retired, I don't like bills going up. It's like I'm already doing the old man things and cutting off lights. Oh wait, do you need that light for downstairs? Oh, I already got the stuff out the freezer. All right, well I'm cutting all the way like that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't need you know Microsoft or um, you know was it Oracle or any of these other
Yeah.
companies running up my electric bill for no good reason. Let's just say.
Um, yeah. There'll always be a need for more power. That's for damn sure. So they got to figure it out somehow.
Yeah.
I think the best use of AI I've seen so far was just watching Stephen Hawking do the pole vault on TikTok. Yeah, just like those videos where you see the random like people doing crazy shit that's not real.
Yeah.
That's the best use of AI so far. All right, well, uh, I just want to ask. 2025 was amazing, like we talked about numerous times for games. We're
Mhm.
about to do tidbits real quick, and then we'll
Yeah.
get everybody out of here. But what was your what was your game of the year for 2025, Fuzz?
That's a tough one because in a weird way for nostalgia purposes, me being a big NASCAR fan and NASCAR Racing 2003 is still my favorite sim racing game of all time. Uh, NASCAR 25 has a lot of those feels. It's just that on PC it's not moddable, so I
Yeah,
can't give game of the year, but I want to. But as far as a game that I've played a lot that is from this current year, because Starfield won't count, and obviously Forza Horizon, Diablo and Division won't count. I played a good bit of Silksong, and I played a good bit of Hades 2.
nice.
Between those two, and I also played Expedition 33. So,
Yeah, you played on some. That's multiple game of the year candidates right there.
yeah. I for Okay, so the original Hades got me into a genre I wasn't normally into, so I don't want to give Hades 2 its flowers for anything because it's basically a sequel of something that kind of opened me up to that gaming genre.
Yeah,
Same thing kind of with Silksong. I wasn't really into turn-based stuff and had no intention of really looking at turn-based stuff. And yeah, Like a Dragon was a pretty cool game a couple of years ago. Haven't finished it, but it was a cool story and cool premise as far as how you approach fights. But the weirdness of Expedition, and when I say weirdness, like it feels like somebody's fevered dream as far as how the world
yeah.
has changed, kind of thing. And when you find out why, without me spoiling it, because I know there's people out there like spoilers, I do have to give it credit for at least it grabbed me enough to want to finish the game. Like it was one of those I played it for 6 hours and it's still on my mind that I need to go back and need to talk to this companion and then we have to do their side mission and I need to go over here to find a clue out about this, that, and the other thing. And it was a very interesting ride. Now, have I picked it up recently? Like I know there's a lot of like parkour and platforming stuff that you can do on the later stuff. And there is some interest, but some of it is like so frustrating. Like you get 90% of the way up and you miss a beam or you miss a ledge, and it's like, oh yeah, I gotta start this all over again.
Yeah.
Um, that's about the only frustrating part. But it, I would say it's definitely in my top two or three. I wish I put more time into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Played a hell of a lot of the first one. Haven't played anywhere near as much of 2. Um, that would be another one that had I put more time into playing, it would probably be considered. And then there's some bright spots of games that I I consider them worthy, but I know the masses probably won't.
Yeah.
Um, and that, like, all right, so South of Midnight, music, emotions, like it pulled at heartstrings just like actually in a way somewhat more than Psychonauts 2 did. Like Psychonauts 2 was a nice surprise. Like I'm not the biggest platformer, and that one I called my game of the year, I think back in 2019 or 2020 area, whenever it came out. South of Midnight is definitely up there. I'm glad they like there was a part of it that I thought that they were going to go down, and I'm glad they didn't. I'm not going to spoil it. It's a
Yeah.
worthwhile play if someone hasn't played it yet. Um, but there was kind of like I wouldn't say this hiccup, but there was this part in the beginning where it's like, don't tell me this is going to be like a nightmare dream that you wake up from kind of thing, or you don't wake up and you've kind of moved on or something. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't go down that road. But a gripping story, great art style, fun game mechanics. Some of it I wouldn't say it was glitchy, but there were some precision platforming that you need to do on some of the boards, and try your best not to get stabbed by those spike things, because then that will screw you up where you have to do it all
Yeah.
over again. Um, but that one's definitely up there as well. That was another one that I played 4 or 5 hours. I gotta get back to it. A shorter game, obviously, than Expedition 33, but just as gripping in my opinion. Those are probably the top two, and I'll give Hades 2 and Silk Song like a more of an honorable mention. Now, unfortunately, I didn't play Split Fiction. Hear great things, and like I said, I didn't put if I put in less than 4 hours, but it's a game I do want to get back to. It's just that there's been other things I've been enjoying in the meantime. Kingdom Come Deliverance is on that. I got to get back to list at some point. Um, East, what is it? Dying Light's up there, just for the fact of I love the original Dying Light more so than two, and Beast feels more like one than two,
Yeah.
especially if you consider the expansion, the following, I think it was, for Dying Light. Um, that's up there. Avowed is good, but I do like Outer Worlds 2 a bit better. And I think the only reason that like there are some game changing stuff that happened in Avowed as far as like their loadouts. I think it was. I think they're not the hit detection, but the picking up items detection in third person frustrated me a little bit. That's why I didn't play it as long. Like I made it to I think the third area or something. Um, but like picking up some things in third person, and I know they patched it later, and I haven't gone back. That was more of a pain point. They definitely didn't have that issue with Outer Worlds 2, but the story was cool with Avowed. Definitely a good game that I'm looking forward to their sequel. But
Yeah.
yeah, Expedition 33, South of Midnight are my upper two or top two.
Yeah. South of Midnight was great, man. I didn't again like every game and fucking talk about it. Like I didn't finish it. Like so I'm not like so I don't do reviews or whatever. But yeah, it was great. I played a lot of it, and I loved the music and the just the vibe of it. Avowed was awesome too. Um, but like my tops, I just gotta go with it. Just be honest, like the games I had the most fun with this year, right? is my games of the year. I'm just talking about, hey, my enjoyment. My top game is Arc Raiders. Um, I would say after that, the next game I was like, kind of like got really into and I was having a blast with and ended up playing a lot more than I thought I was going to was Tony Hawk 3 and 4.
Mm.
Like it's so good, man. It's like I don't nobody it released and nobody fucking talked about it or anything. But I'm playing, I'm like, man, feels so good. It's like it was bringing me back, but it looked so good. Like the gameplay is a blast. Like, um, great music also in it too. But like, yeah, I was just
Yeah.
having a blast with Tony Hawk 3 and 4 this year, man. Then another one I had a blast with. I didn't ever see coming was Supermarket Simulator, but that was just you know just fucking got sucked into the grind of it or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved man, there was so many games this year, dude. Like Avowed, like I said, it was great. South of Midnight was great. Um there's lots of like little indie games, but my next one I'd probably put on my list would be Tokyo Extreme Racer. Um
Yeah,
yeah,
that one
it's
was a lot of
so
fun.
good, man. Like I love it and it's coming to PlayStation. I hope they do an Xbox release as well. But
Yeah,
it's
it's
cool
coming
that
to
it's getting a
both.
console. I don't think they did. Did they announce? I don't think they announced the Xbox version. I thought they just
I don't
announced
think
the
they announced it, but I
PlayStation.
think it's in the store. 'Cause I
Oh, is
think I
it?
added it to my wish
Okay.
list.
Oh, I hope so.
But I
You
think
know.
PlayStation has the marketing because of the whole
Right.
state of play in Japan or something.
Okay. Cool. I hope so,
I
man.
might be wrong. Let me double check.
Because I tweeted at him, release on Xbox. I hope it does. If it does, and you're playing on Xbox, give it a go if you like racers. It's fun. There's another game that I'm about to stream probably in the next coming days called JDM. It was sent to me from
Oh,
the
you know what? That's the
the
one
gaming.
that I think is coming to Xbox.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
looks
just
like
came out.
Tokyo Dream isn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Tokyo Extreme Racer will, but
Hmm.
they haven't announced anything yet. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, great year, an amazing year for games in general, and there's so many awesome games this year. Tempest Rising is another one that I haven't. The thing that marks the biggest thing for me this year is the amount of games that I know would be a potential game of the year for me that either I barely touched or haven't played at all.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
if I played through Outer Worlds 2, it could be my game of the year, right? Because it was that
Yeah.
good for the little bit that I played, but I got sucked into Arc Raiders and I'm having a blast playing that. Like, and I could
Yeah.
say that about several different games. Battlefield 6. I was so fucking excited for Battlefield 6 and the beta played the shit out of it. But the game
Hmm.
came out, and then I played a little bit. Then some other stuff came out, and I got sucked into that. And then
Yeah.
Arc Raiders, and now I've like barely played Battlefield 6 since it released, and it's fantastic. It's
Yeah.
amazing. I don't know, man. It's just there's so much, dude. You ready for
Overwhelming year.
overwhelming year? What are your 2025? And like I said, a big year for change. Also with the communities as well. Like, hey, want to say thank you to everybody for watching this show, for watching our channel. Because yeah, it has been a weird year for the communities and the gaming. I mean, it's hard to think about this and come up with topics and think of stuff sometimes to talk about when like a bunch of shit on Twitter just rehash stuff. A lot of the conversations are rehash stuff. There's just all these games coming out that I want to play, and I've been playing them, so sometimes it's like, what do we talk about? Like, I
Yeah.
don't talk about fucking console sales. Like, who cares about that shit anymore? Like, I don't want to talk about like this or like everybody's releasing good games right now. You know,
Yeah.
like there's not a whole lot to complain about, and it seems like a lot of channels are just focused on complaining. Like I didn't ever want to be that channel where was just complain all the time, but I like to complain about other people complaining. I like to complain about the other people complain. I like to complain and bring up, hey, see these idiots all saying this stupid shit. I like to do that,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it's gotten to where they're so ridiculous, and it's like a smaller minority of people that are just still living in that world, that it's just they've become their
Mhm.
own joke within themselves, and you just let them do that, and it's just like, okay, whatever. Everybody else is moving on, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't even care to talk about that shit anymore, you know. So it's like
Yeah.
it's weird, man. It's I honestly have such a hard time like thinking about, well, because there's not really the big news that we used to have the previous years. You know, it's like we're all in like this waiting game, I think,
Mhm.
to like for next year's games come out, but also the big announcements. And there's this like period of just uncertainty about what those are going to be. But anyway, all right. So we got tidbits to do, and then we'll get everybody out of here. Hey, no spoilers, Fuzzy Tomato. I'm not watching the game right now. I'm taping it. Please. I beg you guys. I fucking beg you guys. Almost canceled the show just so I can watch the Cowboy game without getting it spoiled. Please,
Yeah, be happy you guys already beat the Eagles, so it is what it is. That was a couple of weeks ago, but this one here is Blood Refresh Supply, coming to PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Nintendo Switch and PC today for $29.99.
I was talking to Fuzzy Tomato in the chat, not you, by the way.
Oh.
He's trying to spoil things for me, man.
Yeah, this definitely has some Doom vibes here.
Yeah, definite. I mean, there's been like several of those kind of games come out this generation too. Like Doom clones.
Yep. All right. This one is Cloudheim, in early access on PC for $26.99.
Oh, I played this. I played like early access or something. It's a good game. I think I streamed it.
I think they're finally doing their 1.0 release.
Right. Yeah, good game.
Straight kicked them into the river. Into the lake. Right. This one, Cult of the Lamb, is now coming to iOS. So if you haven't played it yet and you got an iPhone or Apple TV, because this is now going to be rolled into Apple Arcade, now's your chance to play it.
Oh, Cult of the Lamb, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 1 is on Netflix. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, I like Cult of the Lamb, although when I originally played it, the game glitched on me, and I got stuck, and it pissed me off.
Yeah. The same happened to me. Although I remember when you were streaming it, you kept feeding us poo.
I don't remember what happened, but it was like it got to a point where like there's nothing I could do, like, and I was like,
yeah, I think it prevented you from adding to your church or something, or you were supposed to expand, but you didn't have enough either followers or you didn't have enough favors or something, I think. All right, this one here is Flotsam or Flotsam on PC for $12.49 this Thursday. So
It's a
basically like a floating city builder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like Waterworld.
Yeah.
Any Waterworld fans in the chat? Old Kevin Costner movie. I remember that shit.
Yeah.
That was like a 3-hour movie, I think.
Yeah. All right. Metro Prime 4 Beyond coming to Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 this Thursday. On Switch, it's $59.99. On Switch 2, it's $69.99. Or you could do the $10 upgrade if you already owned it on your Nintendo Switch.
Are you buying this one, Fuzz?
No.
It's like I want to play it to try it, you know, and like, but the one thing that happened is, you know, this it only scored like an 81 on Meta, which is like for a Metroid game, you know, that's like. I'm not saying that's a bad score by any means. I love it. Like, it's a great score for a lot of games, you know. But for Metroid, you know, people are used to them getting like 95s and shit, like one of the best games of all time type scores and stuff, you know. So a lot of people have been pretty surprised by that. And it's like, yeah, it looks good, but like, compare this to Halo 4 on the 360. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, just let's be honest. Halo 4 on the 360 looked better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is running at 60 frames, I think. So, yeah, you know, the Halo 4, I don't think, did that, if I remember right. I think that was 30 back then.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's... I don't know.
Yeah. I might have missed one here because this is Power Wash Simulator, which is coming to iOS or to Apple Arcade. So if you have an Apple Arcade subscription, this will be part of it.
This is one.
Yep.
Why is it not two? Interesting.
Good question. Honestly, don't know. All right, this next one. Oh, this is Routine. This is coming to Game Pass. And this is kind of a partner with Raw Fury that they have where they have a handful of games coming over. This is kind of like a updated sci-fi horror game. So definitely looking forward to trying.
It's pretty cool. That looks like Arc Raiders right there. Stella Montes. Oh, was he taking a shit? He was like sitting on a squatty potty. It looks pretty scary.
Yeah.
We keep getting this Revolt ad.
With great rates and low fees.
Skip. Sonic?
Yep. This next one is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds coming to Nintendo Switch 2 this Thursday. It's $69.99, but if you already owned it on the regular Switch, it's on sale. Instead of it being the normal $10 upgrade, it's only $5 upgrade right now.
I want this game really bad, but I can't bring myself to pay $70 for another kart racer after I bought Mario Kart World.
Totally understood.
I think it may have just actually been in the Black Friday sale, but I didn't get it. It'll end up being cheap at some point.
Yeah. All right. This next one is Thief VR Legacy of Shadow. Coming to PSVR 2, Quest, as well as PC for $29.99 this Thursday.
Glyph and hand. Primal sleeps in golden bone.
This would be a fun VR game, I think.
Not by flesh alone.
Yeah.
The glyphs were calling you long before the eye found you.
Subtalos, Substaffo, Punty, game adaptation, Poison Maniac, shout out to you. VT Maverick.
Then let's end it.
What up, guys? J-Mo Money.
Mercy. Treachery earns none.
Here's 5 more memberships for
Eclipse is coming.
chat.
The red glow. That's death.
Appreciate you guys. Tamales de Rajas. This is, are you guys getting the Steam Machine? I'm more interested in the Xbox hybrid whenever it's announced, so we'll see. If the Xbox is what I think it'll be, then I'm getting that. I'd rather have the full functionality and still be able to access Steam than get the Steam Machine and only have Steam OS. You know what I mean? But if
Next one
Xbox
is
wasn't doing what they're doing, then
Oh.
yes, I would have. Sorry, Buzz, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. All right. Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny coming to Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 2 on Friday for $49.99. Now,
Is this a
as far as for
dungeon
me with
crawler?
the Steam Machine, as long as it's under, if it's 700 or less with the controller, which after hearing some stuff, it's doubtful it will for the 256, but if it is, I'll probably wind up picking it up, but it won't be an immediate buy. It'll probably be like the second or third round of them getting them into stock. Now, if it winds up being well over the 700, like 800, 900 for the 256, I will rock my Steam Deck until the Steam Deck 2 comes out.
Yeah. I still want the Xbox handheld.
Everything in this
I want
trailer,
one.
including text
I'm sure
and
there'll be
cuts, is a
others
piece of
too that'll come
unbroken
out.
gameplay footage.
Yeah.
Nothing
Updated
from
soon.
start to end has been edited
So I
in
want
an
one of
external
them.
program at all. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I remember
This
this
is
trailer.
called the Rhythm.
2.
Yeah, this is called the Rhythm Doctor, coming to Series X and S and PC this Saturday for $19.99.
You hit the button. That's it. Like that. Just like that.
Like that, just like that, yeah, just like that.
This looks like it could be a fun game.
It's random, Bunty. If you're lurking or you've been at the channel like that day or so, I'm not sure exactly, but it's just random subs. I don't have any control over that. I would like to just make sure it gets to sent to people that are in the chat currently, but it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. I think it does prioritize people in the chat, though.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is Angeline Era coming to PC this Monday for $24.99.
No, right on. But thanks, Delroy. Hope you have a good one.
Have a spooky PG
Yeah.
thing. All right. This next one, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, finally coming to PlayStation on what is that? Monday for $69.99.
It's funny, like they're getting a game that's actually called 2024, almost in 2026.
Hey, you wait long enough, you
Yeah.
can enjoy it, or you could have enjoyed it day one via Game Pass. I think the I wouldn't say it's a drawback, but the one bad part about getting it on PlayStation, if you had already purchased Flight Sim, which I purchased the one that came out in 2020, a lot of your plane library from that carries over to this. And since they didn't have that option for PlayStation, I mean, it exists on PC. So if you put it on PC or Xbox, when you play this, you get pretty much all of your purchased aircraft. Some of them that weren't included in this one, you'll have exclusively. So, all right, this next one is Skate Story. Now, it's supposed to be coming to PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC. Although I'm having a hard time finding info for it for Switch 2, but it is priced at $19.99, and it should release this Monday.
Yeah, I remember this trailer too. This game looks crazy, man.
Yeah.
Anybody see the PC gaming show today? Was anything cool announced?
No, I must have missed that. I just finally caught up on the Diablo Season 11 stuff.
Yeah, I need to get back in Diablo too, man. Like, I have the itch.
Yeah, I got a lightning sorcerer now that's basically unkillable.
Right on.
Now, the only drawback is bosses like Lilith in Torment 4. Second phase kicks my butt, or I guess the stuff she does on the floor with the blood spikes or whatever, but everything else has been manageable. Like, it's the first time I've been able to do Torment 4 with the character and not have to worry about survivability. All right, this next one is Yakuza 0, Director's Cut, coming to PS5 and Series X and S. Now, I know the commercial said for Switch 2, but Switch 2 got the remake or the remix, I guess you could say, and now the current gen consoles get the update, so it's updated graphics and stuff like that. Although this is not the graphics of the game. This is
I think it's the actual actors though. These guys look familiar.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it looks like this on Series X and PlayStation 5 in comparison to what we'll see on the Switch.
Take on the all-new Red Light Raid mode. Work together with your friends to beat down the enemies. Experience the newly created, fully voiced story scenes.
I'm so glad this series came to Xbox.
Get your friends in on the action.
Yeah.
Yakuza 0, Director's Cut.
I love that
Right.
trailer.
This was on PC, I believe, prior, but this is a game about digging a hole in the PS5, Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch. Next Tuesday, for $4.49 on Nintendo eShop. I believe the other two platforms will have it for $4.99.
Oh, I remember when we saw this trailer originally. Yeah. And I think the next game that we had seen was like called like swim or swim in a pool or some shit like, I don't know. But it was like dig a hole, like run a lap, or you know, just like it was a bunch of games just telling you to specific things to do.
Mhm.
Death Howl.
Right. Death Howl coming Tuesday to PC for $19.99.
It's like a deck builder type thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some Nightmare Fuel artwork.
Yeah. Death Howl. It sounds like deck builder. Well, they're just being specific. It's good.
Yeah.
Tell us exactly what it is.
Right, this next one is Dome Keeper coming to Series X and S. This is another one of the Royal Fury partner games. Although I gotta double check. Yeah, this one is coming to not just Game Pass Ultimate, but also Game Pass Premium.
Cool.
Peggy 3.
Right, this next one is Farming Simulator Signature Edition for the Switch 2. This Tuesday for $53.99.
So they ditched the year? This is signature
Yeah.
edition?
Mm-hmm. I think because it's finally coming to the Switch 2,
Yeah.
it's going to probably have a mixture of some of the previous ones.
Right. They didn't want to be like Farming Simulator 2024. Like Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
Yeah. Right, this next one is Kyborg coming to Nintendo Switch this Tuesday for $24.99.
Looks interesting.
If people are interested in this game but don't want to purchase it on the Switch, it is, I think, currently available on PS5 and Series X and S. But much better visual. Well, I wouldn't say much better, but definitely better visuals.
There's just so many games, dude.
Yeah. Right, this next one is Lock Digital coming to Nintendo Switch on Tuesday for $14.99.
Kyborg is fire. Apex says. Right on. Oh, this looks up Kate's Alley.
Kind of like a Wordle crossword.
Lock.
Now this one I bought on Steam, but this one is called Thank Goodness You're Here. I'm in the Series X and S this Tuesday for $19.99. Now it's been on PC. I believe it came to Switch and PlayStation prior.
Andy's got a huge
If you're a fan of the Goose game,
What was he gonna say?
you'll probably like this as well.
Do you come here often?
Lord! You better get your son in here, now!
Are you here to give me a hand with the tatties?
Poor cow. Chimneys usually perk her up.
This game has a sense of humor, that's for sure.
Yes.
What was that? Did he just smack a titty? Oh my god, what was that? Did you see something rise up out of the milk bath?
Yeah. There's
Was that a
some
pink thing? Was that a pink thing?
Well, what are you wearing?
there's some definite adult. I wouldn't say adult content, but there's some suggestive stuff.
No, there's definitely adult content in that game for sure. That's hilarious, bro.
Right, this next one is called Unbeatable, coming to PS5, Series X and S, and PC this Tuesday for $19.99.
I have a confession to make. I like rhythm games.
There was basically 2 this week. This one and then that Rhythm Doctor one earlier.
Yeah. This one looks more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it got delayed a little. All right, this next one is Little Rocket Lab, coming to Nintendo Switch 2 this Wednesday for $19.99.
This had already come out to Xbox, I think, didn't it? It wasn't like I remember a lot of people playing this shit. It was in Game Pass, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Little Rocket Lab.
This next one is Montezuma's Revenge, the 40th Anniversary Edition, coming to PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch this Wednesday for $14.99.
Why does this look familiar?
I think this like predates Spelunky or whatever.
Punty says it's better that a pink thing came out of the milk instead of milk coming out of the pink thing. Maybe so. Maybe so.
There's some definite weirdness in that game. But like I said, if you love the Goose Game, that game is going to be up your alley. This next one is Mutant Football League 2, coming to PS5, Series X and S, and PC this Wednesday for $24.99.
And
I might have to mute that.
oh yeah. We got the power. We got the brains.
All right, now I had to add one that I must have skipped on the list earlier.
Yeah.
It is Octopath Traveler 0, coming to PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Nintendo Switch and Switch 2, and PC this Thursday for $49.99.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, finally they released one day and date on Xbox with the others.
No one.
Yeah.
And I think this is Xbox Play Anywhere as well.
Yeah.
So
That's it. A lot of games this week. Some very good ones mixed in there. Some decent rhythm games mixed in there. I think for me the biggest one is that I'm seeing a lot of stuff going to Apple Arcade now.
yeah.
Like they finally got Cult of the Lamb, and they finally got Power Wash Simulator, the first one, going to Apple Arcade. But Routine is going to be the main one that I play on Game Pass some point either this weekend or next week.
Right on, man. Yeah, like Octopath Traveler 0 is a big one. You know, I don't know if I'll be able to get to it or not, but yeah, there's a lot of games this week. So there was some decent ones in there for sure. So, all right. Thanks for doing that, Fuzz. As always, bro.
No problem.
That was Tidbits for this week, everybody. I hope you found something there that you're looking forward to playing this week. Like I said, there won't be a normal show next week, but we will have the co-stream for the Game Awards. So we'll go live a little bit before and then kind of talk about it and then do the Game Awards. Hopefully we get some big-ass cool announcements. I look forward to any game streams or maybe if I do a solo stream or something, if anything crazy happens, who knows. But appreciate everybody who was watching tonight. You guys all rock. And yeah, thanks for always stopping by and watching the show. Fuzzy, tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Well, as always, love doing this show. Sorry I didn't have a camera set up and everything today, but still getting some things set up and whatnot in the background. But always love doing this on Thursdays with you, and just love talking about games and the industry and all the fun stuff we've been doing as far as that's concerned, and all the stuff that we got to look forward to between the end of this year into next year. Man, backlog struggle is definitely getting out of hand, and I think it's going to be even worse next year. But
Yeah.
as always, if you want to hear my rambles and rants on anything gaming related, just do a search for Fuzzy Belvedere. You'll be able to find me. And then horror fans, check out my wife's podcast on Fridays. Although I'm not sure if we're doing a show tomorrow because we couldn't decide on a movie. But yeah, Fright Night with Ferocious Fee, usually Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Split vote on Sinners, and then we did a Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving 3. They completely skipped 2 as a plot device. Those are the last couple of movies we reviewed and had some fun, just back and forth on our thoughts on those movies. But as always,
Nice.
Love doing this podcast with you, Mav.
Yeah, appreciate you as always, dude. Yeah, we'll see what happens next week at the Game Awards. And hopefully we get some cool things there. But chat, thank you all again. I hope you have a good one, and we'll see you next week. Peace out. Bye.